Okay. Whoop, whoop. I guess we don't have a sweet, catchy intro yet, so I guess we can just start.
Yeah.
Wolverine Kills presents.
Yeah, mankvillmurders.com. Okay, welcome to the second ever sweet podcast. I can't remember the awesome name you came up with, Jordan, for this. What was it?
Good and loud.
Yeah, good and loud.
That one?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Good and loud. I like it.
We're gonna be making.
Yeah, taken from Motorhead.
Yeah.
The only way to feel the noise is when it's good and loud.
That's right.
I'm right.
Episode number 2. Yeah. Happy April Fool's Day. Let's go ahead and start off with what I wish was an April Fool's joke, and it's the Rockstar Mayhem Festival lineup has been announced. I'll just go through it real quick. From bottom to top, we've got Arimha, King 810, and Islander. I don't know who any of those bands are. Then we've got Wretched, Il Nino, okay, Darkest Hour, Texas Hippie Coalition, Upon a Burning Body, Veil of Maya, the death metal classic band Ymir, and then we've got Mushroomhead, Suicide Silence, Miss May I, Body Count, Cannibal Corpse, Trivium, Asking Alexandria, Korn, and Avenged Sevenfold. First thoughts, go.
Gay.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
I think
I feel so horrible for Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. It is
This has to be the worst one yet.
Oh yeah, by far. To me, personally, like, I would see Cannibal Corpse. Body Count would be fun, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Wretched live before.
Darkest Hour.
Yeah, I think Darkest Hour would be okay. I've seen Wretched live before. I think they'd be okay. Other than that, that's it. Everything on the main stage.
That'd make
just not good.
There'd be cool off dates if they did Body Count, Cannibal Corpse, Darkest Hour, Wretched off date.
That would be great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, there is kind of an off date in Milwaukee that doesn't have Avenged Sevenfold or Korn.
Yeah.
So basically,
right.
Cannibal Corpse is opening for Asking Alexandria.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. This year they're doing some stuff on different dates. Like I think in Denver they're having it at the Red Rocks, and it's just Avenged Sevenfold, Korn, Asking Alexandria, and Trivium. And then in Milwaukee or somewhere, it's like none of the headliners are one or two or something like that. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And one of the stages is they've had a Sumerian stage at like the last couple years. Now they also have a Victory Records stage, which I don't know. Victory Records.
That just shows how great it is.
I mean,
if Victory is behind you, you have the greatest tour possible.
Yeah.
The
Jägermeister stage is now the Cold Cock American Herbal Whiskey stage.
She said cock.
That's important. That's an important distinction, though. I mean, that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know some people said like, "Oh, it's more like Warped Tour." Like I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but
No. If anything, it's Uproar
like
Fest with a couple metal bands.
That is, that's more close. I mean, it is Kevin Lyman, and he's behind all these tours, so it's kind of, I guess I would expect there to be some overlap. But I mean, I'm looking on here, and most of these bands, like in the past 2 or 3 years, have been on Warped Tour. So I guess I can get that's where people are getting that, but
I guess.
Yeah.
But like Warped Tour has such a variety of like, hip hop. Now they do like hip hop, punk, DJs, metal, like hardcore. Like Warped Tour has way more variety than this does.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I guess I get that kind of knee jerk reaction or whatever.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
so
but this is brutal.
Yeah, Slayer
brutal in the bad way.
Would come nowhere. Yeah,
I wouldn't call it in a good way at all. No, it's not brutal.
Well, let's go on to something a little bit better than the biggest American metal festival in the world, Yeah, that's right. American Metal Festival in the world. Let's talk about Maryland Deathfest. We are just under 2 months away from there. Have you guys checked out the lineup? Any bands that you would kill to see there, anything like that?
I just want to go. Period.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an experience.
Yeah, I would love to see Asphyx,
Oh yeah.
Coffins, Hooded Menace is on this year.
Yeah.
Right there is a trio of death doom
Oh, yeah.
that you can't mess with.
Mm.
Like, that's pretty brutal right there. Yeah, it's a killer. I mean, that's a festival that never disappoints with its lineup, and yeah, I wish I were going this year. But yeah, tons of great bands. Who are you looking forward to, Jackson?
Well, as I may or may not be going, but
sure, hold them right in front of my face. Thanks.
Yeah, before I went last year, and for years before when they've been announcing lineups, I've always said, one band that I'd really want to see above all others would be At the Gates, and At the Gates was one of the first bands they announced this year. So I'm like, okay, that basically seals it. I'm gonna go. And then I've always said, there's not too many bands I would want to see above At the Gates, but one of them is Asphyx. And so since they're going to be there, I'm out of my mind looking forward to this. Definitely looking forward to Coffins. I've been a big fan of theirs for a while. Some other stuff. I think like all these kind of old school death metal bands that are coming back will be kind of fun, like Cancer and Pungent Stench and God Macabre and stuff like that. And then, last year...
Nocturnus, right?
Yeah, Nocturnus is doing all of the key, so that'll be really fun, too.
That'll be killer. Yeah.
And last year, I found out about a bunch of bands. Like, last year, one of my favorite bands I saw there was Commandant, who I'd never really checked out before, and I loved them. So.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's been some cancellations. I know Ulver was supposed to be like kind of the second big headliner, but they dropped, and Agalloch is taking their place, which that's cool. I've been getting into Agalloch lately, so I'm looking forward to them. I'm a really big fan of Talk too, the black metal band. So that'll be nice to see them there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll just be fun.
Which stage are they on?
Talk is on the main stage. I'm assuming how they're going to have it.
Yeah.
They have it in a place called the Edison lot, which I'm assuming is going to be like 2 big main stages and a tent. And then each night, like, they'll go to one of the venues in downtown Baltimore for like the other show. I will not be seeing any of the bands at the sound stage, which is like the hardcore stage basically, which kind of sucks because I would really like to see Birdflesh and Black Breath. But that, like, I was
that's
thinking,
a good day at the soundstage.
Yeah, I was thinking like, maybe I could pull that off. But if what I'm thinking is correct, they'd probably be going on stage at the same time about as Asphyx. So then I'm not going to miss Asphyx. So
yeah.
But the one good thing about Black Breath is they might be touring this summer.
Yeah, I just saw that they are doing a couple post MDF dates with Hooded Menace. So maybe that'll turn into something like a full tour. That would be great.
That would be nice.
Also, just looking at the hardcore bands, like, a lot of them seem to tour more often than some of, like, the rarer metal bands that are on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, Stolzifer is doing a tour with Junius.
Yeah. I saw that, too.
Yeah. I wish that were more of a tour than just a few dates.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of these bands kind of have something in place with MDF. It's like, hey, we won't tour, or we'll tour very sparsely around MDF.
For exclusives.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure, because they want to draw people for the bands. Yeah, of course.
I mean, there will be...
I know Pseudo God and Wrath Prayer are coming to Austin as part of their little run.
Yeah, I saw that.
Through... So I'm very excited for that one. And if we get any other MDF runoff, I'm super happy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
I would just be happy with anything at this point.
Yeah. I'll be sure to let you guys know how that is. All right.
Oh, you better. You better.
The next thing I was going to talk about was that...
And then when is... No,
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, when is New England Metal and Hardcore Fest?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is this month,
Is that before?
isn't it?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that just basically.
Yeah, they just announced like the final lineup and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
a pretty decent lineup.
Yeah, I've been actually looking for that.
For the
Yeah,
most part.
it starts April 17th. So, yeah. I was kind of looking at that the lineup, and I would think that I think the last day probably has the most bands I would want to see personally. And
Same here.
I'm trying to find a good place to. But yeah, like the last day has. Oh, I'll just kind of go through it again. Thursday headlined by All That Remains. Like whatever. I don't know. Maybe they'll play like some good stuff. But then Emir's on there again.
Nice one.
Darkest Hours on there. Bleeding Through's final East Coast appearance. Whatever. Oceano. Broken Hope. So there's some okay bands on that day.
Yeah.
And then Friday.
Enabler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Friday is the day it's headlined by the God, I can't think of it. The tour with Behemoth.
Metal Alliance tour.
Yeah, Metal Alliance.
Metal Alliance.
And it's really
so brutal.
It's really weird that like on that day the rest of the Metal Alliance tour is like so far down the list, and then except for Behemoth who's headlining, because Whitechapel's on there too. The Acacia Strain, Carnifex, and then odd. Just out of left field hardcore
That's
bands.
a lot of deathcore.
Like Slapshot and Cruel Hand. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? But yeah, the last day...
Inquisition will crush everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
The last day, to me, is the weirdest. Because you got your bands like Nails, Unearth, All Out War, and stuff like that. And then you've got, Iced Earth, Nile, and Sabaton. What?
Yeah.
That would be a tour.
Sabaton's opening for Iced Earth on their tour, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Seeing that next week.
I believe so.
Okay, so
yeah,
I've seen Sabaton once, and I went without even hearing like a note of their music before, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had at a concert. They put on a great show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess that's it for festivals, at least. But we did get some tours announced recently. First one announced today, not an April Fool's joke, even though I tried my hardest to make it an April Fool's joke, was Deafheaven and Pallbearer, which they are doing...
Yeah, you scared me shitless about that.
That's not a joke. That's not a joke. That's actually happening.
No.
It's Deafheaven, Pallbearer, and Wreck
I thought it was
and
a joke because I saw the Triple Rock on there, and I never thought Deafheaven would be coming to Minnesota.
They are also...
I thought you put that on there specifically to piss me off.
They're hitting Minnesota, Lawrence, and Austin, so we'll all three get to see it.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is coming 4 months after I just saw them open for Between the Buried and Me here, and then this will be my third time seeing them within a year, Deafheaven, and I'm okay with that. Already a lot of people are, at least I'm seeing like on Facebook, a lot of people are saying, should
really
I go to this and wade through the hipsters just to see Pallbearer? I don't know. When I was at the Between the Buried and Me show, Deafheaven had like a legit circle pit going on and crowd surfing, and it was not hipster people. It was dudes in long black t-shirts with long hair, and it was awesome. Like, it was not what these people would expect.
Exactly.
Okay, the whole hipster thing, I gotta say, I live in a town that is pretty much populated by hipsters, like your definition of hipsters. So when people, like, who live in, like, random-ass places are, like, complaining about hipsters, I'm like, I don't think you understand what that means, or, like, what that entails.
Well, I live in Minnesota, so I'm used to the
here.
hipster scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge hipster scene in the Twin Cities. There absolutely is.
Yeah.
Although it's funny because you see like all the kids wearing like the flannel shirts and PBR and everything. I mean, that's just Minnesota, Wisconsin culture, and now I see it all over the United States.
Just the culture.
Hipster.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for
yeah,
me,
Death
I've been
Heaven-
waiting to see Deafheaven for so long. I mean, I've been waiting since Roads to Judah to see them. So, I mean, they're finally coming to Minnesota, so there's no way I'm not going. And Pallbearer is such a great band to see as well. I mean, it's going to be awesome to see both of them.
Yeah, that'll be a great show.
But yeah, so yeah, and so there's still. I hope they'll be doing more off of Sunbather, because when I saw them open for Between the Buried and Me, I think they only played about 3 songs. When I saw them headline last year, right after Sunbather came out, I don't think they really played that much. They should do it in its entirety. I think I'd be okay with that.
I'm sure they will. They'll probably do like Unrequited or something as an encore, like do all of Sunbather and then do Unrequited or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay.
They pretty much need to do almost the whole thing to make a whole set out of it. Because last time I saw them, I think they only played about 50 minutes. I think they should be playing at least an hour at this point.
To be fair, they only have about 8 or 9 songs.
That's true.
No, I agree, but I mean, I'd be glad to see more stuff from Roads of Judah again.
Yeah, me too. Like Tunnel of Trees or Unrequited or anything.
Yeah.
Anything, any of those 4 tracks would be killer.
Yeah, a lot of people think Sunbather's their debut album. They don't even know about Roads of Judah.
Yeah.
Hipsters.
I caught him at South by a couple of years ago, luckily. Yeah, Hipsters. I caught him at South by.
Yeah.
When Roads of Judah first came out, so their set was basically the whole album.
All right.
Oh, seeing Deafheaven with the Arcade Fire was just perfect for me.
The next tour I was going to talk about, and this is something that maybe you two could talk about more than me because I'm not a huge fan here, but Meshuggah has announced their 25th anniversary tour. They're doing it with Between the Buried and Me opening. Meshuggah, I will say I could probably get more into Meshuggah than the countless number of bands they've probably had more than a hand in inspiring. But that being said, what do you think about Meshuggah?
Well, I guess I can say for me, I've seen them twice on the Colas tour the last couple of years, and the first set was kind of like a greatest hits tour, and then the second one was more like the rare stuff that they do. So I'm pretty much good on seeing Meshuggah right now, unless they do like some like ultra rare stuff or their EPI, which they said they'll never play live, but I think that'd be pretty cool. But having Between the Buried and Me on there is a nice added bonus on there. But to me, it's like, if I never saw Meshuggah before, I'd be that much more excited to see this tour. But since I've already seen them twice in the last couple of years, I'm good until the next album.
Yeah, I like Meshuggah a lot. I think they're a great band, but I've seen them a bunch of times. I'd be interested to see how much the voting thing they're doing online is going to actually play into the sets. Like
Metallica by request.
Yeah.
Right. So, depending on what those actually sets look like, I would consider going to this because Meshuggah with Between the Buried and Me would be a fun show. Definitely.
Absolutely.
But, I don't know. Ticket prices might end up getting a little bloated at the same time. So, I'm a little on the fence about that one.
If they don't play Bleed, I'm going to kill somebody.
I remember,
Yeah.
for some reason, I looked up their very first album, like before they like did their, I'm going to say it, before they did their gent stuff or whatever. But their first album is like old school, like thrash death metal. Like, it almost reminds me a little bit of like Nuclear Assault or something like that. If they would do that stuff, I'd be more than happy
about
to see
that album.
But if they do that, I would definitely see them. Which they're not going to, but whatever.
Well, it's on the voting, but I don't think many people even know about that. I mean, I'm be surprised if anyone even knew him during Rational Gaze or New Millennium Cyanide Christ anymore.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people around here think that Obscene is their first album, which I just want to smack them for.
Whoa. Yeah.
I still remember seeing Opeth for the first time, and they thought The Grand Conjuration was the first single from Opeth, this brand new band that just came out of Sweden.
Yeah.
All right.
Those mysterious European bands.
Yes. Never heard of them before, so they must be brand new if I've heard of them.
Yeah.
It's new to me.
All right, that's pretty much all the kind of festivals that have been announced and the tours that have been announced. I was just wondering, do you guys have any
Oh,
upcoming?
you forgot about This Is Hardcore.
Oh yeah, because I forgot about New England Metal and Hardcore Fest. Yeah, this is hardcore. This year they just announced it again on April 1st, not an April Fool's joke. Lots and lots of bands.
Nope.
Let's see. The big ones I'm seeing here.
Your favorite is headlining.
Yeah, great. Killswitch Engage, awesome, great band, love them, progressing the metal, whatever. Then we got, me, This Is Hardcore.
Tell us how you really feel. Come on.
Whatever. To me, This Is Hardcore has always been like super, like legit hardcore bands. So it's kind of weird. Like this year, they've got Killswitch Engage, Unearth. They even have Title Fight on here. Like I get it, but it's just weird to see Title Fight like up there with Killswitch Engage and other bands like that. Crowbar is on here. Yeah. I wouldn't consider them hardcore very much.
I know like a lot of punks and hardcore kids like Crowbar, but it seems like it's a generation late for them to be on a festival like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but
kind
the
of
one thing that does make
Converge
me
and
happy
Ringworm.
about, Converge. Hopefully that means a U.S. tour coming up or something for Converge.
Hope so. Yeah.
I'd be okay with a Converge tour with a bunch of legit hardcore bands from them. Like some of them on here, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Give me a Converge Crowbar Power Trip tour.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If only.
Yeah, some other stuff I'm seeing on here, like Blast is playing. They're probably going to be all over the place this year. Code Orange Kids, Noisem, Power Trip, Rotting Out, kind of like these newer hardcore bands on there.
Nails.
Yeah, Nails is on there.
Drop Dead.
Yeah, Drop Dead, Backtrack, all this stuff. Overall, I think this year, one of the best years in my opinion for This Is Hardcore. All these bands make sense, like in a way, and they're all pretty good, except for Killswitch Engage, but they're all pretty good.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know they one of the.
Yeah, I think I'd go to this, even though I don't listen to that much hardcore. I'd go to this before I'd go to New England Metal and Hardcore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then they have that Bad Luck 13 band.
It'd be a lot cheaper.
Who is like notorious, I guess, for like creating riots or something.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah, but it looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah. As far as tours and festivals, I think we've covered most of what's been announced this past week. Do you guys have any upcoming shows this week that you're going to?
I got plenty, actually, and possible interviews as well. Starting off tonight, Broken Hope and Oceano.
Yeah.
Then on Friday will be Carcass, Black Dahlia, and Gorguts, which will be an awesome show. And then on Monday, before we record the next one on Tuesday, I'll be seeing Iced Earth and Sabaton, which will excellent collection of shows coming up this week, and hopefully some interviews along with that. Jordan?
Nice. I don't have anything coming up specifically this week. I saw the Carcass tour a couple weeks ago. Incredible. You're going to love it. Awesome. The only thing that's coming up this week that I'm not sure if I'm going to go to is the Intronaut Cloud Kicker
you gotta go.
thing they're doing with Tesseract or something.
Yeah.
If I'm free that night, I might end up checking that out because I really I'd want to see Cloud Kicker and I'd watch Intronaut definitely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, it's a quiet week for me this week.
For me,
you got anything, Jackson?
Tonight, actually, I'm going to see Earth, so that'll definitely be an experience.
Oh, sweet!
Lucky bastard.
I don't really know what to expect from them, like set list wise. I think they actually do a bunch of new music, but I'm not expecting like anything from like Earth 2 or anything like that. But it should be fun. And then this weekend there's a big music festival here, but it's not metal. But I'll be covering that But other than that, again, a kind of quiet week for me metal show wise. My April kicks into overdrive next week though, so that I'm looking forward to all the shows I'm seeing. All right, and
Yeah,
then
definitely.
one of the last things I was going to talk about, which I think Josh kind of brought up, are there any old albums, like maybe from last year or even older, that you didn't really discover until this year? Kind of leading off to me, it's not exactly one that I found this year, but it definitely last year. I discovered Woods of Ypres' last album, and I listened to that. I don't know. It kind of filled the void in my heart. Left the Peter Steele sized hole in my heart left when he died. So they filled that pretty nicely. But of course, I was like, oh, they're gone. But that their last album is already like climbing up my favorite albums of all time for sure.
Absolutely. They're one of the best
that's an
underrated
excellent
bands out there.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
so pissed because they actually played in St. Paul at Station 4 like the year before David Gold died. And I was out of town and I was really hoping to see them, and there was just no way I was able to make the show. And I was just thinking, well, maybe they'll come back on the next album, and then yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Jordan, do you have any undiscovered albums?
Albums from last year that I've been listening to this year that I never checked out. Satan, Life Sentence. I don't know if you guys heard that one last year.
Yeah, they've been kind of blowing up recently.
Like, kind of throwback. Yeah, they're an older band, but playing, that 80s style heavy metal. Awesome. Yeah, great record. Really catchy, really, that's a hard one to turn off. And then, have you guys heard of Urkalian Oracle? They had a record come out last year on Nuclear War Now.
Possibly.
They're from Gothenburg, Sweden. Play Black Death pretty much as you would expect from an NWN band. But yeah, it's killer stuff. Pretty brutal. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of like Black Death lately, so any of that I put on, I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then Gut Fucked. I don't know if you guys listened to that one last year.
No, but that sounds
Oh
great.
yeah, I think I heard that on the mainstream radio, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They kind of scratched the itch that Devourment didn't last year, I think, with like brutal slam death. Yeah, their album from last year is called Fucked to Death. So yeah,
Isn't that the way
it's
we
what
all
you would
feel?
expect from? Yeah, exactly. It's pretty standard of what you would expect from brutal slammy death metal. Yeah.
Kind of about
that's what I got.
Devourment. Because I don't know, they may not be around for too much longer or something. But I did find the band Raped by Pigs. That's a great name, but they kind of sound almost exactly what I want from Devourment.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hopefully the rumors that Devourment might be on Summer Slaughter come true, because I would love to catch them live before their demise, because I've never seen them before.
Yeah, I've never seen them either. I thought I read somewhere that like Devourment has like a message board somewhere, and it was offered to like the two guys in Devourment who like are still in it, and they're just like, oh, we need to find some people to get in the band so we can go on Summer Slaughter. So hopefully that's true, and hopefully they can find some people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you would think people would step up.
But yeah. Josh, do you have any sweet old albums that you didn't discover till this year?
Me, I've been kind of going on the lighter side when it comes into older stuff, because I just don't have as much time to check out the older stuff as I want to. Just considering how many fucking promos I get. Not that I'm complaining, it's just that it's so many. But I've been getting into Within Temptation lately. Really digging that female-fronted metal stuff. And they got a tour coming up with Amaranth coming in September. A very short tour, by the way. Then some more on the progressive and power metal sides. I know Jeff would be really happy about it. I'm getting into Pretty Maids. That's
Okay.
a really cool band that not many people know about. I kind of steered clear of them because of the name, but then when I actually checked them out, it's really killer, like classic metal and power metal kind of sounding stuff there. And my girlfriend's been showing me a whole bunch of like power metal and folk metal I never even heard of before. So I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'd have to be doing my research on iTunes and going through there. But there's a lot of killer underground stuff going on.
For sure. All right. Is there anything that we missed that you would like to talk about before we head on out?
Oh, shouldn't we talk about your new promotion company, Jackson?
Mankvill Murders. I have secret industry
Yes.
insiders.
How did this come about?
You have to sign up for my newsletter to find that out. Is this like how we're gonna end each podcast? We're like, okay, now let's goof on WK some more. I'm totally fine with that. Oh boy.
I'm just saying, if I have to pay the $50 for information I already knew about, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, man. All right, I guess that will do it. Happy April Fool's Day. Hopefully next Tuesday or whenever we'll have some more stuff to talk about. But yeah, until then, stay metal, stay true. Posers leave the hall.
Yes.